Hi guys,
Hey guys,
welcome back to the Zilinski life.
welcome back to Bed Sugar Central, population us.
Yeah, so we haven't done a video in a while. A lot has changed. You guys might have seen that I'm pregnant. I did put up a video about that.
Yay!
Yeah, so that's exciting.
I'm gonna be a dad.
We are currently no longer living in a trailer. We had to move back to the city into an apartment. Where we were, there were no good doctors close to where we were. We were at least an hour.
No good doctors.
Like an hour and a half or more drive away from any hospital. So with me being pregnant and with it being our first pregnancy, we just wanted to be closer to my family and a good hospital and that kind of thing. And my family doctor is here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back in the city, which we knew would be more expensive and
more tempting. And also we're not that mature or responsible or steadfast.
So you remember how we said we were going to pay off all our debt this year and we were doing
Yeah.
really good while we were in the trailer?
Yeah, we had our credit card paid off.
Yeah.
Notice how I said had?
So we racked up another $3,500 in credit card debt.
On what, you might ask? Great question. We don't know either.
We're not sure.
Yeah, not 100% sure. It's frustrating.
Junk,
But illuminating.
takeout, stuff that we didn't need.
Yeah, that's one great thing about a small town with shitty doctors is there's no fast food places there. If you want to go out for fast food, you gotta drive like 45 minutes one way.
Yeah. So, you may be asking yourself, why are we doing a video?
Mostly it's because the accountability works really well for us, so this is something we need to jump back on again, and you guys seem to enjoy them for whatever reason. It's very likely not because of any of my contributions, because she's awesome.
It's actually funny, out of all of our videos, we thought like the RV living would have been the more watched videos, and specifically the ones we did about like surviving through a winter in Canada in an RV. Those were watched a lot, but more than anything, it's our budgeting videos, the YNAB videos, the cash envelope stuffing videos. So,
which, I mean, I guess I can understand because we're sort of trying to muddle through it ourselves. It sounds really great when you listen to, any of the financial sort of gurus out there. But it all seems tailored more towards people that are just steadily employed. They work the 8-hour day. If they need an extra job, they can go get one. There's very little out there for people working, like my average work day is 14 hours, including my commute. Not a lot of time for extra employment. I work construction, so when they don't need me to build things, they don't pay me to build things.
Cody's job is like this. Sometimes
feast or famine. There's no in between.
Yeah, sometimes he's employed and making really good money for weeks or months at a time, and then other times he's laid off and we don't know what the hell's going on, and that can also last for weeks or months at a time.
Yeah, and the frustrating part is because when I'm making really good money, we pay down our debt. We, pay down our debt mostly. Throw the money out at things we've already bought and then try square up that, and then I'm not working anymore, and it's like, cool, this year we dropped our debt load by like $15,000 and we have no money in the bank, and now I have no employment.
Yeah, so that's exactly where we are right now. Cody just got laid off. We're not sure when he's going back to work, if this company will have more work for him. It sounds like they will, but he's been off for a week already and there's been no update as to when he's going back to work. And I don't currently work either, so we have zero income.
Yeah.
And more debt than we started with when we moved here, and no money in savings. So we have enough money to get us through about 10 more days.
Yeah.
Just being real with you guys. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like everything's hunky dory in our life. But we've gone through this many times, so I have faith that we'll make it through again.
It'll pan out. We're used to it.
Yeah.
One thing though, yesterday we were listening to a podcast where they were talking with Ramsey, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and going through a lot of his principles and stuff, and I really liked a lot of the way he looked at things. I think my big takeaway from that so far was just that we need way more than $1,000 emergency fund. I know it really makes sense the way Dave Ramsey teaches it, where just the more money you can throw on debt, the more money you have to throw on debt. But I think we're just at a point where I'd rather have no change in my debt load and $8,000 in the bank the next time I get laid off, versus an $8,000 reduction in my debt load and we're still screwed when I get laid off. So that's kind of where we're at.
So we're making a few changes to how we do things. So number one, we are changing who we bank through. Currently we bank with Tangerine, and we have loved banking with Tangerine.
They are fantastic.
They are a great bank. They're free. We have not paid any banking fees since we joined with them. It's been great.
Yeah.
The downside is that Tangerine still does not have a Visa debit or MasterCard debit option, which is why I've held on to our credit card, because you need some kind of credit card to be able to book hotels and car rentals and stuff like that, online shopping, subscriptions.
And as a fun fact, it's really easy to spend money on a credit card you have, but if you don't have a credit card, you can't spend money on it.
Yeah, and so, I mean, admittedly, because I know I can hear some of you guys, because I'm that person on the other end too, going, well, why didn't you just get a prepaid credit card? Because I'm too impatient to wait 2 days to transfer funds, so I'd rather just have a credit card.
Which maybe that could be like a lesson point or like a growing moment or something, but we're going to switch back to a bank that has like a traditional branch.
Yes, so we are moving back to Service, because that's where our car loan is.
Why are we doing that?
Because our car loan is through there. So currently, our car loan with Service, if we want to make an extra car payment, and that's the big debt that we were tackling next, aside from the credit card right now, we would have to go get a bank draft or money order, which costs about $20.
Yeah.
So when we had thousands of dollars of extra money, then it was worth it.
Which is fine if you're making like a small handful of multi-$1,000 payments on something, an extra 20, 40, 60 bucks, not that big a deal. When you want to make like incremental little $100 payments, that 20 bucks adds up quickly.
And I'll be honest, there's been a lot of times in our budget where we've had like an extra, $200, and we're like, what do you want to do with this? And we're like, oh, we'll just throw it in here for now. And then that money gets spent. Whereas if we join the same bank that we have the loan through, we can just transfer that $200 over automatically. So it's going to make it a lot easier to cut that loan down. They also have the MasterCard debit, so I can completely cancel our credit card, close it out. We won't need to have it anymore. We'll just pay it off once it's done. It's done. We were really good about that. We paid off our credit card in January, and we never put money on it that we didn't have money to pay it off with. So it was always paid in full. Every week I'd go back every payday and pay it off in full, pay it off in full, pay it off in full. Now with the move and Cody getting laid off and a bunch of other stuff that's been going on, we wrapped up that card this month, and then he got laid off, and now we don't have that money to pay it off. And that's exactly why you should not have a credit card.
And fun fact for RV lifers, when you've been living in an RV and then you move to an apartment, it's an adjustment, but also in the RV, a lot of your stuff is built in. Like the TV is part of your home, the couch is part of your home, the table is part of your home.
Yeah.
When you move into an apartment, you're either eating on the floor or buying all of that stuff.
And we did buy all of it. We did actually pay all of that off too when we moved. Everything we bought was paid off within a week. But again, it's just one of those things where it's like, because our debt loads are so high, our living expenses are so high, despite cutting back in every area that we can try to cut back in, unfortunately, we're just at a point in our life where our debt and our minimal lifestyle is
our burn rate is ridiculous.
It's very close to what our incoming rate is. So it's like the second Cody loses his job, it only takes like a week, like 5 to 7 days, and we are behind, which is another reason why we want to get
a bigger buffer.
Because that $1,000 doesn't even cover our minimum monthly debt payments.
Yeah, when your burn rate is close to $5,000 a month, $1,000 is like, yay.
So we just kind of wanted to touch base. We're also going back to a cash envelope system. We did do a lot better when we did cash. We recently switched over to just keeping all of our bills in a separate bill payment account. And then whatever was left, we would keep in a spending account. And that's where we would pay for gas, food, dining out, spending money, which was fine, except that
it worked okay in a small town. And then when we got more to in town, we're running around, we're busy, we're doing stuff. It's 3 a.m. and I get called into work, so you look in the account and hey, there's $400 there. I can go to McDonald's. So you grab like breakfast at McDonald's, or like you sleep in and you're not feeling like cooking, so you go out to eat, and then because you have $500 in there, and then all of a sudden it's like, cool, the money's gone, we're halfway through the month and we can't afford groceries.
Yeah, so we're definitely going back to doing a cash budget. We're just more accountable. I also just kind of wanted to be a little transparent and honest about how bad our spending was this month. So I'm just going to go...
Things did not go well.
I'm going to go through some of the bigger accounts. So like our dining out... This is so bad, I'm embarrassed to say it. Now, admittedly, this is a lot better than when we first started dating. Yeah, but we spent over $600 dining out this month.
And like I'd really like to say, because her birthday was this month, I'd like to say we did awesome stuff like going to the Keg or Red Lobster or like nice restaurants.
We were already broke by then.
You know what that $600 was?
McDonald's,
Big Macs,
Tim Hortons,
Quarter Pounders,
ice cream.
donuts. Nothing that I'm excited to go eat. Like I'm always excited to go eat it because I'm just a fat kid in a grown man's body. I love food.
And we wonder why we can't lose weight.
Yeah.
We also spent over $600 on groceries, which is an obscene amount of money for 2 people, considering we don't even eat that healthy. We're not buying really healthy things.
No.
Now, admittedly, our grocery budget does also include like our toiletries, so toilet paper, paper towel, shampoo, cleaning supplies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like the bulk of that would have been food, and that's too much money if you ask me. And then $168 went to dining out on the credit card because even when I ran out of money, I somehow thought that was a good idea. So
when you're hungry, it's hard to convince yourself that you don't need to eat.
Yeah. We also, I wound up upgrading my phone this month. So my one cell phone bill was $272 because I had to pay an upgrade, not an upgrade fee, but like the cost of the phone fee.
Mm-hmm.
So that was expensive. Gas, we spent $532 on gas because we were driving 2 vehicles this month. We've been a 1-vehicle family for like almost 2 years now.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years. And then just recently we were helping my dad out for a little bit. So we had his vehicle as well. And of course we were like, great, we have 2 vehicles. How convenient. It ate a lot of gas.
Yeah.
A lot of gas. We also spent $400 in parking, which we on average spend $0 on parking, but I took a new job and then we wound up not keeping that job for a multitude of reasons. One of them being the cost of me to park downtown, but there were...
And also because I was employed, we didn't need her to make any money.
Yeah.
We
spent $480 on vehicle maintenance. Mind you, this had to be done. This was an oil change and getting our brakes done, so I don't really regret that. And we had budgeted for that as well.
Yeah, we had budgeted for it, but still, when you hit the brakes and your vehicle starts to wobble, you assume that's something that you should get after pretty quick.
So our transportation costs, and this isn't including our car payment or our insurance. This is just gas, parking, and vehicle maintenance. We spent $1,400 this month. Mm-hmm. In that category. Insurance stayed the same, nothing really changed there. And then as far as spending money, I spent over $600 this month. A lot of that was getting clothes for a new job that I took because from living in an RV, all I owned were jeans and like t-shirts and hoodies, and you can't wear that to an office. So we spent a few $100s on clothes and some makeup because I pretty much never wear makeup ever. And you kind of can't go into a job looking homeless.
I think that's stupid, but I work in construction. We're expected to look homeless.
And if you're new to this channel, I've been buzz cutting my own hair for well over a year. I just started growing it out. And I had to get a haircut for the job interview, and that cost me $90. So I'm tempted to go back to shaving my head because that was free.
Yeah.
Haircuts are expensive. Clothing, $300. So I don't know why I split the categories, but some of it I put into clothing and some of it I put into my personal money, and I think some of that was you as well. You needed some
I needed some work stuff,
but that was a necessity. His was like mine was a necessity in the short term. I kind of regret that purchase now. So yeah, our just looking at like our entire month, we've spent $9,600 this month. Mm-hmm. 96. And it says we made $10,000 this month. I find that hard to believe. I feel like there's no way we made 10 grand this month, so I'm not sure. Maybe we did. Hold on.
So while she's searching, one thing I did want to touch on that I got from the podcast last night is he talked about, living your rich life. And just whatever that is kind of to you. To me, specifically with our dining out, if I had to choose between spending $600 at McDonald's every month or spending $600 at like a dinner theater or the Keg or like a nice steakhouse or something like that, I sure wouldn't spend it at McDonald's. But it's one of those things that just ekes away in tiny little bits where $10 here isn't that big a deal, $5 here isn't that big a deal, and then at the end of the month it's like 2 car payments out the window. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can't look it up on the iPad. I mean, generally Cody makes usually close to $6,000 to $7,000 a month, and then I did have a little bit of my own income from working this month, so it might have actually been 10 grand. But I think we're getting to the point where we've just had enough. Like, mm-hmm. I don't know many people whose take-home household income can be 10 grand a month and be as broke as I am right now.
Yeah.
Like, we are broke.
Yeah.
I have $40 for groceries.
If you make 10 grand a month and you're broke, you're living your life wrong.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we have that mindset, so we're not going to try like blame the system or the world or the unfairness of the universe, and we're going to try adjust and fix it for future.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of this too is just swallowing our ego. Like, for a long time, Cody and I have been very, well, not for a long time. Ever since we moved into the RV, I think we've let go most of that. But when we first got together and we were, you know, making consistently $10,000 to $15,000 take home, like, I think we had a bit of an ego around it. You know, like, we made good money, we wanted nice things, we bought nice things.
Yeah.
Cody loves to spoil me. He doesn't like saying no.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you're in the position to do so.
Yeah.
We are not. So, yeah, that was just kind of the video we wanted to make. We just wanted to be open and transparent and be like, look, you know, like, we might have been doing good, but we definitely fell off the wagon. The wagon's long gone. We're going to have to hitch a ride on the next one.
Yeah, the wagon's so far gone that we can't even see the tracks in the dust anymore.
Yeah. And that's okay. You know what? It doesn't mean that we're, like, giving up. It doesn't mean we're throwing in the towel. Not that we really have a choice, I guess. But
yeah,
we're still very much determined. Like, I look at these numbers, I look at the money we make, and I'm always looking, you know, where else can we cut back? What other things can we give up? Admittedly, we probably did not need to be in this apartment. The rent in this city is expensive regardless, and it's not terrible for this area, but we pay $12.50 a month for our rent here. And then about $12.50 a month for rent. We could have rented an apartment in a very sketchy area for like $900 probably.
Yeah.
But again, it was just one of those decisions we made where we knew we made enough to live here at the time. And with expecting a baby, I don't really want to live in a unsafe neighborhood.
Yeah, because like I frequently work out of town, camp jobs and stuff, so like I don't want to be gone for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. I just wonder, like, did the heroin addict down the street bust through my door to try to get money for drugs? Like, I don't need that stress in my life.
But we still want to take you guys along for the journey. We do eventually plan to go back to living in an RV or some kind of lifestyle like that.
This time, though, we're going to do it right. We're not going to take our, you know, leftover pocket change and jump into it half-baked and get saddled with a bunch of stuff that we're not necessarily excited for.
I still really had a good time.
We did have a good time, but this time when we jump back into the RV, it's going to be with enough money to get something worthwhile, enough time to shop around for the right one.
Have a truck to haul it.
Yeah, if you're living in an RV, being able to haul it on your own is like awesome.
We did not have a truck. We just had really good friends at the time.
Yeah, because even though we had awesome friends that did give up days of their life to come move us around, I found a lot that basically everywhere that we parked, like by the time we'd been there for 2 days, I was looking around the site and I was like, God damn it, I need to be about 6 inches to the left.
Yeah.
Which you can't do when you don't have a truck and the guy that hauled you up is like 8 hours away.
Yeah. So I guess we'll cut this video off here. I know it's getting kind of long. We did a lot of rambling, but we just wanted to update you guys. It had been a while. Look forward to a lot of budget videos from us and cash envelope stuffing videos.
Cash envelope videos, budget videos. I heard about this thing called No Spend Weekends. So we're going to maybe bring you on for a couple of those and you know, see what a couple can do for 2 or 3 days on $0.
That's right.
Aside from like your average grocery money, but for the days of the weekend, no spending money. So, you know, stay tuned. Let us know what you think.
And we'll try to post a lot of this on our Instagram account. I'll link it down below for you. You can check us out on our stories and stuff and kind of follow along between our YouTube videos. I will be doing that. Cody's not sure how to do it.
My Instagram is looking look at motivational cat pictures and cute doggos.
So that's it. So thanks for watching, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.